What's up, notJust developers? Welcome back to a new coding session during our Summer Startup Challenge. What's this challenge about? During August, we launched a community challenge and we encourage all of you to start working on ideas that you have about mobile applications and try to build a minimum viable product until the end of the month. Something small that would solve a problem and that you can already launch on the market. We're going to end everything with a demo day on September 1st, and the best projects will have opportunity to present their application there. So join the community and start building the application yourself. And you can find more information about the challenge itself following the link in the description below, or you can go to our website. And during the whole process, I'm going to document my journey of building one of the applications that I'm working on from scratch, and I'm going to do everything here live on YouTube. We are already in live stream number 5, and we already have a working prototype of application, which is already ready for beta testing. So all of this is documented on our channel. You can see all the live streams from the beginning, where we set up the project, we set up everything, implemented the savings goals, and now we are almost ready to launch the application. So let's get started with today's build. And before we jump into it, I want to announce that this month we also launched our notJust Development Premium community. And if you need more personalized help and advisory to build and launch your own application, the community is designed for you because we are going to have weekly Q&A sessions throughout the August to help you with a project during the Summer Startup Challenge. And later we're going to have it once a month where you can ask all questions related to your project, to React Native mobile development. So go ahead and follow the notjust.dev/pro for more information, because we also have a launch bonus, a 50% discount, which is only going to be available during August, and it's going to be applied as long as you stay in our community. So yeah, make sure to check it out, and I will see you inside our community on Discord. Anyway, back to our summer startup. What have we managed to do so far? First of all, the application that I am building personally for this challenge is going to be a financial application targeted to couples and families. And the idea is to help them manage better their financial goals, their finances in general, as a couple, as a group together. So there are a lot of features that I plan to add later in this application, but in order to be able to finish something that can be launched in 30 days, I'm gonna cut down everything, only focus on one specific feature, which is going to be the savings goals. And by doing that, it will make the whole project more feasible, and it's going to be possible to finish something usable. The tech stack that I'm using is, of course, Expo. For the mobile applications, for the UI, I'm using Tamagui, and for the backend, I'm using Supabase. I have to mention that I'm also using the Tamagui takeout. This is a paid starter template, so I have some pre-made components in my applications that I get out of the box from this starter template, but everything else is open source, like Tamagui, Supabase. You can learn it together with me. They are also new for me, so it's exciting to build an application and at the same time learn new technologies. So the game plan for today. The game plan for today is going to be checking out our project board. Here I have project board where I keep track of all the information. And if you're interested, this is Notion. I know a lot of people are asking about that. And here I have all the tasks that we currently have. So my goal is to go ahead and follow some of these tasks to make sure that the application is working smoothly, because as I said, the application is already on test flight. Throughout the last days, I've been battling with building because it was crashing in production. So I spent a lot of time just figuring out like environment variables and so on. But finally, the application is live on test flight. And if you are interested in helping me test this application, if you're interested to give it a try, send me your email and I'm going to invite you as a beta tester for the application before it's going to be available on the market. So you can either send your email down in the comments, or if you want to do it privately, you can send it to me at vadim@notjust.dev, and I'm going to add you as a beta tester. And actually, I would really appreciate your help with testing the application. At the moment, it's only available on test flight iOS, but soon I'm gonna prepare it for Android on Play Store, so anyone would be able to test it out. For building and deploying, I'm using EAS services. So yeah, that's a little bit of behind the scenes that I didn't show in the live streams, but the process is like long and you have to build it, wait like for 15 minutes at least, and then see that it's not working and so on. So as you can see, like the last 5 days, that's what I was doing. But in this morning, I finally managed to fix it. So good success there. Anyway, here is our application. Here is the home screen that will show us how many savings goals we created, how much did we manage to save. Here we have a couple of them, and we can go to all goals to check out all of them. We can basically add transactions there to, for example, say that you are saving for a specific goal. Something probably here is not working properly. I cannot select the goal. So let's do some bugs here. I don't know. Cannot select goal when adding a transaction. I also saw something wrong with the home screen numbers here, because it says 0 goals and $0. So stats are not displaying correctly. So yeah, we're gonna try to investigate these two issues. And also, the first time you basically open the application, I think the data on the home screen are not loading, like the savings goals here, as you can see, they're not loaded. So you have to go to the savings, then go back, and they will be here. So let's also do initial load of the goals. These would be some of the bugs that I think are quite important. But yeah, today we're not only gonna work on the bugs, I also plan to work a bit on the onboarding screens, and as much as possible to make this application more ready for deployment. Anyway, how is everyone doing? Are you guys building your startup? Let me know in the live chat, in the comments down below. Let me see if there are any questions. Vadim, at some point, are you going to make any tutorials about animations? Recently on my project, I wanted to achieve some collapsible headers on scroll, but didn't find much on YouTube. Would be nice idea. We already actually have some tutorials on animations. I don't do a lot of them. I don't do a lot of them because animations are nice, but when I'm building applications, they rarely have a priority. Like for myself, like I always prefer functionality over how beautiful it is. But yeah, sometimes I realize like you'd want to add some interesting animations, which at one point I'm also gonna add to this application, so probably I'm gonna showcase. But let me check some tutorials on our channel. For example, this blur effect and the whole custom animations, dynamic time, these are individual videos. Parallax effect, this is also an animation. Flat list animation. There are a couple of tutorials about animations. And if we look in the live streams, there should be... Where is it? This one. iOS 16 in React Native is the live stream that focuses on animation. So yeah, check it out. Dimitris, hello. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. David is asking, what's happening here? What's this course about? So long story short, we launched a community challenge where we encourage everyone to build their own applications and to showcase the whole process, how it is done. I'm also working on an application myself, and I'm documenting all of this here on YouTube, and you can follow along to see the whole process. This is not a usual tutorial that we do on the channel, and I want to make this very clear from the beginning. If you're interested in learning mobile development, then check out videos on our channel. We have a lot of projects. You can check the playlists. Those tutorials are specifically designed for your learning experience. Also, if you want to get even more in depth, you can check out our premium course at academy.notjust.dev, and there you will learn the full life cycle of building mobile applications from start to finish by building actually 2 real-world applications. But in this series, the goal is not for me to teach you something, because a lot of tools and technologies that I'm using are also new for me, so it's a learning process for me as well, and I'm not preparing anything beforehand. I'm sharing the journey as it is, with all the ups and downs, with all the bugs. A lot of times we're just fixing bugs, but that's what it takes to take an application from zero to market. So if you're interested in that, you can jump in, follow my journey, and from time to time I'm gonna need your advice to understand like how to build application, how to move forward, what to choose, what task to prioritize. So yeah, that's what we're doing here on YouTube. In a moment, we're gonna put some music and we're gonna get to the coding part. Oliver, hello from France. How are you doing, Oliver? You are actually a student at our academy. How is it going so far there? Do you mean this is his first mobile application for deployment? No, actually I worked on other startups before, but from the moment I started YouTube, I focus only on educational tutorials. So I always have this urge to go back to building and launching applications. That's what I was doing before before starting notJust development. I co-founded a couple of startups. They're actually still active. You can check out Fitinium if you're interested. The guys are still working there, and I was part of that team and built the initial version of application. Now actually Lucas is in charge of Fitinium. Anyone remembers Lucas here in the live chat? I watched most of your videos. I was able to understand React Native. That's nice, thank you. All right, so what do we start with? Where do we start with? First of all, I'm interested about these statistics that are not displaying correctly. What's going on here? I think it might be quite easier to fix. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna need to open the door to get some air. I think we can already take a seat, put some music, and start the debugging process. Let's get cozy. Come with me. Roll down. Tell Lucas to make an appearance. Lucas is busy coding. We're gonna invite him to our private community, definitely. Okay. So what do we have here? We have here our application, and let's check where are these numbers coming from. I think it should be in our packages application, somewhere in the home. I think there we have the overview. Yeah, I think it was overview. So here what we are doing is use count. So that's the problem, the count goal. Let's open it up from use count here. Use count goals. Use count goals. So we're taking Supabase, Maybe the group ID is not there, that's why. Let's console log something here. Goals count query. Let's start by simply query goal count and maybe the group ID, because if group ID is null, it's gonna stop here. So, oh, now it loads. You see, initially it's 0. Yeah, there is some problems with initial loading. And I think it affects both displaying the savings goals, but the savings goals, because we are going here and loading them here, and when we come back, they appear. So what might be the problem? There was, maybe I messed up something. I had a provider index, and here there was an ensure data provider that was making sure that the user is loaded. Because I suspect that it's not loaded because initially there is no user or something like that, or there is no group actually. So if I check here, we see query goal count undefined. So that means that the group ID when querying the goal count is undefined, and that's why it returns null. But the goal was to stop, to prevent this screen to even like render unless we have loaded the group. So how do we track that? Still loading. Console log finished loading. So what do we have there? I see actually that spinner finished loading. Query goal count finished loading. So let's open this use user, and we see that is loading will return true if it's loading session, profile, or group. But the problem is that the yeah, I think initially it tries to load the group here, and I had before here enabled only if profile dot group ID. So this query should be enabled only when the profile group ID, but for some reason I removed that. But why did I do that? You see, now it works. Now it works. What was the problem? Why did I remove it? Enabled. Previous time we worked on this ability to invite people. Yeah, I don't know why I removed that, because we had it here. So let's add it as a fix. Let's make sure to remove our console logs that we added there, like this one and this one, and simply do git add. Okay, that's good. So that stats are not displaying correctly. That's fixed. Come on, what's going on here? Hey, what's going on here? 1 second. Notion is loading. Okay, so from the bugs, cannot select, oh, stats are not displaying correctly. I think it's done. Initial load of the goals. Yeah, I think it's done. And cannot connect goal when adding a transaction. I think it must be fixed now. If I go here, yes, I can select goals and I can add transactions. Expected number received string. Oh, that's bad. That's a different one. ABC add expected number received string. Let's have a look. That should be somewhere in our application features. And this is a transaction. So we go in transactions, create screen. So goal ID, this value is number or undefined. Oh, this system. Schema. Transaction schema. Where is it coming from? Use transaction schema. Amount and goal ID. Select number. Expected number received string. Let's see the schema form. Where is it coming from? Utils schema form. Mapping. Okay, so what do we have here? Select number. It's a select field. I added this one here 7 days ago. Can be string or number. Labels. On value change. Field on change. Oh, value, item, value to string. I fixed it 5 days ago, but why? string or number, but we select item. Select item. Where is it coming select item from? And why can't it? Okay, Tamaguya select. Let's check it out in the documentation. Tamaguya docs. There is the select. Select ID, size, and so on. We need to look at the select.item, this one. Used to add selectable values must provide an index, as React Native doesn't give an escape hatch for us to configure that automatically. Index and value of type string. Provide the value that will be passed on selection. Okay. Yeah, I think I need to treat the selected value as string here. So in the select field where item.value, and I think item should only be a string. And the next problem will be where. I don't know, v here. I don't even need the select number. I'm gonna remove that and use only select with default value. Let's check here. What do we have? Transactions, form fields. I'm not gonna have select number. I'm gonna have only select. Now it works, but I'm not sure if it's... Here in the default value, the goal is not assignable to a thing of string. So let's do goal option dot to string. Now it works, and here seems like it works. Value number. Goal ID, select item. Okay, let's see now. If I go here and do, let's say 1, 2, 3, if I press add nav, what? It shouldn't have worked. Towards vacation. Why it automatically selected the vacation transaction? Now it even doesn't work. Should I do here for the value goal ID dot to string? And now vacation is selected, yeah. And I think I should simply remove it from here because we do it for all the goals. We transform the ID to string. And I think we just have to transform it back when we save. Right now, if I choose different ABC, for example, 1, let's add. And if I go here, we see 1 towards ABC. I'm wondering how the onSubmit works. mutate. Yeah, here, that was I was afraid of. The goal ID, the problem probably is with goal ID that it's of type string. So we can do number dot parse integer. Yes, now it works. So when we save, we simply transform it from a unicorn 1, 2, 3, add, and if we look at the transactions, yes. Yep. Another problem that I see right now here, let me just double check if we didn't leave anything. Okay. Here is good. Here we set goal ID as a select. Schema form, okay, here. We didn't need the select number. And select field, yeah, we move back to only string. Select item to, we remove it to string. Yeah, okay, perfect. So this one would fix one of the issue. Git add, git commit, -m, fix goal selector. Perfect. And yeah, another thing is that when we go here, we see the warning, encounter 2 children with the same key. And that's because if we look at this component, where is it? Form fields, select field, the ID of this select item where? Here. The ID is the item value, but the item value is our name. So we see here 2 vacations with the same name, and that's the problem. Item.name. Should I do item.value because the ID will always be unique. So we're not going to encounter this issue. If I go here, we don't see the error. I can change here to, for example, games. Add, and if we go here, yes, it's there. Perfect. So we fixed another issue. Cannot select goal when adding a transaction. Done. Fixed. Okay, that's good. What do we work on next? Authentication, definitely no. Everything is good there. With the goals, setting the due date for the goals and quickly adding, yeah, maybe it can wait. I think here in transactions there were a couple of things that might be important. And let's start by displaying the time step of a transaction. So let's put this in progress. And for example, the transactions here are very minimalistic. At least I want to add the possibility to to see when you made this transaction, right? And I already think about the next one, the next level, which would be group, or not group, but yeah, add monthly labels between transaction items. For example, if the first two were in previous month, I would have a name of a month above this one. And this way you can see chronologically, like how many transactions did you do this month. Because I think a very important goal for achieving your financial goals is to constantly work towards them, to constantly add there. But the first thing is to display the timestamp, right? So let's have a look at our in the source components. I think we have here the transaction should be transaction list item. And in order to see them, to work only on the UI, let's go ahead and run the storybook. So let's do yarn, how is it called? In the package, a lot of scripts here. So storybook native or iOS. I'm gonna add a new shortcut with SBI for storybook iOS. And if I'm gonna do yarn SBI, it should call SBI. It should simply call yarn storybook iOS. The same way as we have here with SB. Use another port, yes. Dear Rossi, thank you. So what do we have here? Let's have a look. It's still waiting to build. Yeah, because I'm at the moment I'm displaying the transactions as messages. Let me check. For example, how other applications are doing, like, yeah, I think somewhere in the bottom corner, bottom right corner, we can display them as a string. For that, we're gonna need some libraries to work with dates. Let me check if we have something like that already in the dependencies of the project. So in dependencies, Tamagui, yes, here we have our UI with transaction list item that we can see here as my transaction. That's how it will look when we display my transaction, and that's how it will look when we display someone else's transaction. So the goal is, like, this select field will probably receive, where is it? Not select field. Seeing about transaction list item. Transaction. Let's do time string or something like this. Time as string. And inside the, yeah, let's maybe render it somewhere at least. And also go ahead and from the stories, send it. For example, here, time would be August 13th, something like that. And here maybe 3 hours ago. Let's have a look how it will look. Okay, that's already better. So transaction list item, we have time. The text is coming from Tamagui. We can text. Color. Should we take a dynamic color here? Gray 7. Maybe lower, gray 1. No, gray 9. Gray 3, 4, 10. Gray 11. And how will it look for the other one? Yeah, for other one it looks okay as well in terms of color. Okay. And should I position absolute to the right? I don't know, 5, and bottom 5. Like this. And this is for them. Where? Transaction. 3 hours ago. Maybe no. Bottom 5 was okay. Let's do it like this, which I think will be dynamic. So even 2 is not enough. 1.5. Yes, we have 1.5. Okay, I think like this. My transaction, August 13. Okay, all right. Now we need to somehow send this from our application, because this is the UI and this is our application. So if I go, hey Calvin, thank you very much for the donation. I'm Brazilian and I found your Uber clone project and it's really great. Congratulations, keep it up. I still don't speak English fluently and calmly, but the subtitles are helping a lot. I want to congratulate and thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. You made my day. It's gonna be more fun to work. Let's put some music. I forgot about that. Went into... Okay. Ian, hello. What I wanted to check here in the application features, transactions, transaction list item. So that's where we are sending this. Goal string undefined is not assignable to type string. Yeah, but if I send here time, it already displays it. And how will it look on dark mode? Let me check the documentation of Tamagui colors. Where is it? Colors. Orange, red, and so on. Do I have grade 12? I'm wondering. Yeah, we have grade 12. And there is also grade dark. Okay, no, never. I think the grade 12 looks better. Command Shift A to toggle the device light to dark mode. Okay, let's put it to system. And now Control Shift A. Oh my God. Thank you. That will save me a lot of time. Oliver is saying, don't hesitate to take the training to learn how to make Instagram clone with AWS. Vadim has done one hell of a project. You can see everything you need to make your own application advanced. Thank you very much for the message. It's the result of work for, I think, almost 2 years. So yeah, put a lot of effort into that. And not only me, like our whole team. So what I wanted here, instead of 2 hours, I want to somehow parse the item.createdAt into some human readable way. So for that we need a library for managing times. Let me check where. Okay, in the app here we have. I'm gonna check if we have something related to times. No, I don't see. And I actually, I'm not sure which one should I use. Data FNS. Let's try to install this one inside our packages application. So let's go ahead and open a new terminal, cd packages up, and here let's do yarn add date fns. Day.js is nicer, day.js. Oh, it even has more weekly downloads. 17 million data FNS. Okay, actually, it's even like less size Last published 2 months ago, last published 4 months ago. Issues. Okay, I will try this one actually. Let me remove the date FNS from here, and let's try the day.js. So where is it? English. Okay. Day.js, the remote server failed. What? Oh, it's without a dash. Yarn add day.js. Hello, pizza 143. Okay, that's done. Let's go ahead and try to use it. And as I said, we needed it in the transaction. Here, transaction list item. So instead of time, okay, let's try here day.js, not there, with a time, day.js. Let's try, I don't know, something like days in month. What's that? I don't know, 31. Okay, it's already good. And where? Display. Time from now. Relative time plugin. This requires relative time plugin. Let's have a look at this one. Oh boy. Should I use import here? Relative time from. And now can I do dot to now in 27? No, from now. 27 minutes ago, 25, and so on. If I add a new one, a few seconds ago. I think that's good. A few seconds ago. I just want to make sure that if there will be a lot of text, for example here, if the goal will be like this, you see it's going to be a little bit display above. So what I'm gonna do is, here we have a text, here we have another text. Let's add here padding, margin bottom. Like this. And they become a little bit taller, but I'm at least I'll be sure that the texts will never overlap. Oh, come on, 2. Or should this text have margin top? 2. Margin top. Oh, no, because it's absolute. Okay. I can actually add it dynamically only if it has time, but it will always have time, so. Perfect. So now if I'm gonna look at some of them, yeah, that's another place where we are rendering this goal. Packages, application, features on the savings. Detail screen. Here we have this transaction list item. I think, yeah, probably I should have a separate component that renders a list like this. For example, in transactions, if I'm gonna have a folder, because I'm reusing it and I don't want to keep calculating this every time, like I want to do it in one place. So in transactions, if I'm gonna do components, transaction.tsx, transaction list. Let's do it like this, transaction list. This is going to be a component that is going to be this flat list. It will have a type, transaction list props. And the data will come from there. But the data will be what? The data will be a list of transactions. So how do we, how did we do that? In Supabase, we have a types. I'm not sure if that's the right way to access them, but database from superbase types dot tables, or how is it called? Database public. Tables dot transactions. And yeah, it should be dynamically accessed like this. Definitely doesn't look right. So if you know a better approach to take the types from there, and it should be an array of them. We import the flat list. Is loading refetch. Yeah, I think these are. Transaction list item can be imported. It shouldn't be from source, by the way. Item.amount does not exist on type row. Still, something is not right. Dot row, yeah. I think we need one more here for row. And now amount, yes, it works. Time. For the time we need to import the date.js and so on. And here, instead of rendering this flat list, what we need to do is to render transaction list, sending the data. Sending the is loading. And the refetch. Null or undefined as well can be the data. So null or undefined, or this one. Now the transaction list works as before, but we can take this one and use it in our savings. If we look at one of the savings, detail screen. So instead of rendering this flat list here, we can render the transaction list, provide here for the data transactions. We can also do is loading, but it should be is loading. Is transactions loading. So let's use this one. And what happens if we don't need a refetch? Let's try to give it, so maybe, yeah. Transactions refetch. Or what we can do is transaction query and destructure here all of them like this. Will it work? Yes, it works. And if I go to the vacation, I see, if I go to unicorn, What else? Another vacation. We don't see any transactions. Back to unicorn. Still don't see transaction. Yeah, but I think there is an error there, like with rendering them. But in general, I think it works well right now. Index screen. Here I might also not need all of them. So list transactions. I can destructure simply them. And because everything is typed properly, should I do this is loading? I think I should do the is loading inside the details screen, inside the transaction list. If it's loading, return this one. And it's going to be the same, like for example, here. It just loads too fast. So from this index screen, it already became very simple. Not sure what's happening here with this time. Transaction list item. Probably it was not updated, like the types. Okay, perfect. So refresh. This one still works. Can go back. I look at all of them. Nice. Yeah, that's one of the problems. Like if I go from transactions to details of one goal, the list remains the same. So that's under the bugs. Going from transact. But display timestamp of a transaction, that is done. Perfect. Now, yeah, if we refresh, it's working. But anyway, this task is finished, so I'll just quickly have a look what we changed. Here I can go back to normal text. But now, should I work on this fun one, add monthly labels, which is not very important? No, let's actually first fix the bug, going from all transaction tab to the goal, because that's more important. So let's focus on what's important. Why this is happening? Let's check how we query them on the features. transactions index. Here we are using the list transactions. We're gonna need this screen here, and on the savings detail screen we are using use transactions by goal. Use transaction service, use transaction by goal. Is it the same? Yes. So this is the last piece of a puzzle. Use transaction service. One of them is using list transactions, which uses the key transactions, and another one is use transactions by goal. Use transaction, yeah, by goal. And because they both use the same key, they're cached as the same query. But the thing is that the query is different. So to make sure that they are cached separately, I'm gonna add to this key the goal ID. Transactions, goal ID. I can even do transactions for goal and goal ID. Now it will work better if it will run. So the problem was going from this one to all the page and back. Now it works. Unicorn. And it will even work like going here to vacation, going here to this one, going back. Yes. So that's why it's important to have unique keys for different queries. Okay, good. Use transactions by goal. As you can see, this one is a separate hook. Create transaction is a separate. No, that's not a separate hook. Anyway, list transactions. I'm thinking for the home screen where we display these savings goals, there I also have some issues with this key. So if I look at the home components goals section, here I'm taking use list goals with a limit, like it's a paginated use list goals. Should I simply copy paste it into a separate function and do use list top goals? It's not gonna have any options. But for the limit, I'm gonna manually do here 3. And here I'm gonna say goals top goals, and then top 3. And this way, but I need in the goal sections to use them. Use list top goals without any limit here. Now on the home screen, they should load separately, like this. And in the all goals, they should load like this. Not sure what will happen if I go here and add a transaction like 1, 2 to the first goal. It doesn't update here, as you can see. Oh, because it's a huge one. Doesn't update in real time. For example, if I add here to the vacation, it doesn't update. 12, I have to restart, and yeah, only then it updates. Why? Let's think about that. If I go here, transactions, create screen, we have create transaction, and the create transaction invalidate queries transactions, but I also think I need to invalidate queries for the goals. Not sure if all of them, but for example, now if I go here, vacation, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, add. $37. It's still not instant. Let's try to add a new one, a new saving goal of 100. I'm gonna even call it 100. It's here, the first one. After I add something here like 1 towards 100, or maybe 10, add, I expect to go back and to see them updated. But they are not. If I go here, they are updated. So maybe this one doesn't target the correct one. If on the goal section, instead of use list top goals, if I'm gonna simply do use list goals, I just want to test if that's the problem. Basically, I'm querying here all of them, so there will be a lot, no? Wait a second, why? Goals section, use list goals. Options, limit. Something doesn't add up. In components goal section, use list goals. Oh, because I'm slicing them. Yeah, anyway, it's the same query. So now if I'm gonna go here to add 10 towards 100, it still doesn't update. Why? Use list goal. Goals. Goals. Invalidate query. Let's check React query. Invalidate queries. Yeah, that's React Native. Should I try it like this? Query key. Goals. So if I add another 10 towards 100, here should be 40. I don't know what's happening here. Create transaction. Let's double check that that's something that we are success. Maybe should I also, like, it's supposed to be all queries that start with that, but even hello, how are you doing? Now if I do that, still doesn't update. Use goal service. Goals. Top 3. That's supposed to invalidate all queries. You see, it worked. 82. Come on. 84. And even the total saved, 168.23. 168.23. So if I add 1, the last digit should be 4. Yes, it updates. So should I simply do invalidate all queries? It's still weird because I want only some of them. For example, goals top 3. $85. 1. It doesn't update. Okay, maybe I'm doing something wrong, but I'm gonna invalidate all of them when we create a new transaction, because a transaction will change kind of a lot of things. So let's do it like this, and at least this way we know that it's updating right away. Yes. On this page, should we add some space on below the transactions? Let's do that. That's inside our savings. Savings. Details, we have here transactions. Margin top 5. Let's do margin bottom 2.5. Hey Vadim, I have a React Native project for my second year. I'm running out of ideas for the app because it has to be innovative, and every idea I come up with has been done. Any advice? Do it anyways, even if it has been done, because you can improve on it, you can do it better, you can do it differently. And the application that I'm building is definitely not something new. There are tons of applications on the market related to finances, related to budgeting, tracking your goals, and so on. But how I'm gonna try to differentiate myself is the initial idea of going niche, of targeting specifically couples. So that's what you can do as well. If you have an idea and it's too competitive or it's too hard to achieve it, try to niche down and target it to specific people, to specific needs that will solve like a smaller amount of problems. And that way you can differentiate it from other things that are on the market. So that's one way. But yeah, ideas are not that important. The most important is the execution. So just get started. As David says, like here, he's sharing some ideas. Calculator, queues application, note application, drawing app, to-do list, dating, job search, movie app. That's perfect ideas. Like a note application, you'd expect that, hey, there are so many note applications out there. Yeah, but you can have a specific feature in your application where you can differentiate it with your UI, with your interactions, with anything. Maybe you add a note application that has like a limit of only 200 characters per day, and every day like you can have some notes. I don't know, like be creative here. Okay, so let me check what have we changed so far. Bit of things here. Yeah, that is a thing with invalidation. Transactions. Top goal. Yeah, perfect. I'm thinking after adding a transaction, for example, towards this goal, should I redirect back or should I redirect to the details of that goal? For example, here. In the features, transactions, create screen. On success, I do router go back. Maybe I should do router push. How's the should be up, then tabs, then savings. So slash savings and slash ID of a goal. So let's try it like this. Goal ID. But I'm not gonna know the data deep in the on success. Oh, but it also will get data here. Will it? Let's check what data do we receive back in the on success. For example, 1 vacation, success undefined. But then vars, will the vars also be undefined? Success, goal ID, you see? So from vars we need goal ID, and the goal ID we can use it here. And if that data we don't need, I can replace it with an underscore. Now, if I do add, we're gonna go to the transactions. And if I do plus here, transactions, 1, but towards something else, again, something not working. For example, 1 towards ABC. Perfect. A few seconds ago, ABC, and you are updated with the goal, basically. Nice, but what happens? Yeah, if you navigate to a goal detail page first, you cannot go back. But going from all transactions tab to the goal will not refresh. This we finished. And we also changed where we redirect. So we can go and do git add, git commit, transaction navigations. Oh, but we are in packages. Wait a second. I need to go back, git add, git commit. Okay, perfect. What is the problem if you navigate to a goal? Yeah, that was the problem. If you go right away to a goal page, for example, if you click on this one, there is no way to go back to all the goals. And even if you go here, it's gonna remember it. So what's the problem? The problem should be probably in application, not create, tabs, savings, and here in the layout. I think it should be done with do I need it here? What if I simply return a stack? What do you use to get that overview of a task to do? That is Notion. I cannot go back. But I think that's where those unstable options were coming into play. Export router. Layout routes. Let's check this example application up, layout, and here this is then stable. Okay. Initial route, we want the initial route to be index. So from here, if I go to the goal, I still have a back button to the savings. Yes, that's exactly what I wanted. I can come here and there is the back button. Perfect. Nice. Another thing about the goals, I think, would be different background color for the card based on the status, something like that. Because right now all of them are red. Anyway. Back button when navigating to savings details. Perfect. So that was what? If you navigate to the goal, it was finished. Okay, back to the transactions. Add monthly labels between transactions. That's not important, come on. I'm thinking about deleting, like updating transactions, maybe it's not that important, but at the moment if you made a mistake and you want to somehow fix it, at least to be able to delete it and then and then add it as a new one. So that's what I'm thinking I will do next. But before that, I'm gonna grab something to drink and we can continue working on it. Okay, so all right, good progress today. A lot of small bugs, but that's how we are improving the user experience so far. Now I'm thinking, how would the basically user experience for deleting a transaction would be? Should I have something like swipe to delete? Or should I do something easier, simpler, like long pressing on them and showing a menu? First of all, I don't like the scroll indicator there. So what I'm gonna do is from our transactions components, transaction list, I'm gonna say shows vertical scroll indicator to false. Yep. Transaction list item. We need a way to delete it. For that, we need a user interface. Delete transactions in progress. What would be the easiest and at the same time a UI that would look good? Let's see here, maybe something. Alert dialog. Shit. Open. Let's check maybe a package React Native swipe to delete. Let's see something recent. I learned by practicing. Do I understand correctly that we cannot reproduce this project unless we buy the starter? Yeah, I would say so. Because, like, for example, these components that I have here, yeah, they are coming from the starter. I adjusted them, but still. So many odds, come on. Swipeable item. I think that's what I need. Is it something that is last published a year ago? Or maybe hello Daniel, how are you doing? So how should I do that? The easiest way probably would be on long press. On long press to open up a popover. Shit, so probably a shit would be better. Did we use this shit anywhere? Packages, up, join group. Yeah, inside the group here, join group was join group dialog. Oh boy. Still not sure, still not sure. What do you guys recommend? Maybe like an alert dialog. Trigger, content title, cancel. For example, on WhatsApp, if I want to, okay, it opens a kind of menu. If I press on it, context menu or something like that, iOS context menu. Is that what I'm looking for? Yeah, yep, that's what I'm looking for. And is it adapted React Native context menu? Creating a React context menu. React Native context menu. So there is this one with let's check the project. Think it's a good one. Use native context menu functionality from React Native, and on Android it uses pop-up menu. Let's see if there is anything expo context menu, pop-up menu. What is it using? This one, kind of like it. Let's just check. If I will be able to use it in Expo. I still will be able to use it, but anyway, let's give it a try. React Native context menu view. But this is a native package, so how should we install it? Because it on the web is not going to be available. Here in the documentation of this starter, we see native dependent. If you're installing a library with native code, you must install it in Expo. You can also install the native library inside the packages app. That's what I want. If you want to get auto import for that package inside the app folder. However, you need to be careful and install the exact same version in both packages. You can also install version mismatch at all. You're potentially getting terrible bugs. This is a classic mono repo I use to help. Okay, so that means that I need to do both in the inside the Expo project. So let's try this. cd apps expo, and then let's go ahead and install yarn add React Native context menu. And I will also need to import to install it inside our packages app. And I need to make sure that it will always be the same version. Otherwise, I can have issues. You know what I can do is probably I can set the exact version, and whenever I have to update manually and keep in sync with the version from Expo app. Comments are not permitted in JSON. Okay. And I'm gonna do the same here for the Expo. Now, will I be able to feature transactions? Transaction list item. I'm gonna rename this transaction list item UI, and I will define another transaction list item here. But no, I don't need it. I don't need it for now. I can try to work here, but yeah, what I need is to import this context menu. Your own styles. And I think I need to wrap our transaction list item inside this context menu. So if I go here, require native component, context menu is not found in the... Yeah, I think I have to rerun the application. Let's do yarn iOS. Hello, Risky. Installed pods, okay. Come on, 0 errors. The application is here. Hopefully now it will contain the native code for the context menu, the library that we just installed. Option title on press. Okay. Probably I can, I will take this one somewhere here. Menu options. And most probably initially it will have only delete. Properties, title, subtitle, system icon. Phew, that's good. System icon. Destructive, delete is destructive, so should be true, and it will probably make it. Let's see right now, if I go here. Yes, it works. Wow. Now I'm gonna delete these options and do menu options. Delete, as you can see. Wow, so beautiful. I just want to add a system icon. But I don't know what. Delete, trash. Yeah, I guessed it, trash icon. What else? Selected, no. Disabled, inline. Yeah, anyway, in the end, I think it's gonna be a better idea if we extract like this part of rendering one list item inside a separate component, transaction list item .tsx, and yeah, that's basically what it will render. Transaction list item, export default function, transaction list item that will return this one. Now it needs context menu. It needs the menu options. Yeah, transaction list item, but imported not from where, but imported from import. Transaction list item from this one. Now here, transaction list item should be imported from UI, and it should be called transaction. Should be renamed because that one is the UI. Let's bring the menu options here. And the item. Where? No, let me actually take the item here and send it probably as okay. Last step is to define the props here. So type it needs a transaction, and the transaction will be database public tables transactions and then row. And all will it work? Yeah, it still renders. It still has this one. Okay, like it. Now in this, now we can work only with this item because it has this on press event. Press is going to be equal to something. Native where? So what we see is pressed delete at index 0. What's the index? I don't know. Press delete. Probably, yeah, the order, like it's the first option. But what I need is, based on this, if event name is equal to delete, right? We need to call a method delete transaction. Delete transaction. Okay, it works. So far, so good. Now what we need is to actually is in our services use transaction service. Here, what do we have? We have a use transaction, we have use mutation. Let's basically export a new function, use remove transaction. We need the ID of a transaction as a number. then we will return a use mutation. The mutation doesn't need a it doesn't need a key. Do we have another mutation here? Yes. Mutation function. We need only the what? We don't need data because the ID we can take it from there. Or maybe we need the ID here and not here. Use remove transaction. Yeah, maybe. And what do we do here? Let's check Supabase documentation. Supabase. And in the JavaScript client libraries, we need to see delete data. Supabase from transactions delete where ID is equal to the ID that we receive. If error, we're gonna throw it. Okay, and the use mutation will also have a on success and a on error. What should we do? On success. Should I show? Something went wrong, at least this one. Okay. So let's try the last one from the transactions, which is 39 minutes ago. If I do delete, I don't see anything, but if I'm gonna refresh, $1 39 minutes ago. It didn't work. Transactions. Yeah, because we didn't use it. So let's use it in our list item here. Const I don't know what is going to be use remove transaction. Remove this expression, remove dot mutate, and here we need the transaction dot ID. Let's see. Last one, delete, and if we update, the last one was ABC, it's still there. Removing transaction with ID. Let's do ID. Removing transaction with ID 49. Most probably it's an error. Because the user might not be allowed to do it. Error null. Anything else like data? Transactions delete where ID equal to that one. Let's try to do yarn super status to see the to open the Studio UI. Here it is, default project, table editor, transactions, 49. Well, I think the policies do not allow it because it only allows insert and select. So let's add a new policy here. Enable delete access for users based on their user ID. This policy assumes that your table has a column user ID and allows users to delete rows which the user ID column matches their ID. Does our table, where is it? For transactions, does it have a user ID? Yes, it has a user ID. So that will mean that only owners will be able to delete their own transactions. Exactly, that's what we want. So view policies, let's create a new one like this. Save policy. Now transactions, this one. Let's see. Removing that transaction, and I think it worked. ABC. Yes, it worked. So what should we do? Await query client, invalidate. Should we also like invalidate everything? Vacation delete is deleted. So you'll see delete. So now vacation should have nothing or something like that. Or for example, this one, I'm gonna delete it. And I expect to go on the home screen and this vacation, yes, to be updated. And if I go to the details, yes, it's updated as well. All right, that's good. I like it. I think it works really well. What if we delete something from this page? If I delete this one, it deletes, it updates. Everything is perfect. Love it. So delete transaction, it's done. It was actually easier than I thought. Should I delete some console logs from here? Okay, let's go ahead and do git add. Okay, so good progress today. The update transactions can come later. Pagination probably is important, but as well, Add monthly labels. No, that's not important. Goals. Different background colors and so on. Yeah, I think that we're gonna finish today and we can continue working on the application on Friday, because by the end of August, we're gonna go live 2 times a week to build this application. So if you're interested in giving it a try and helping me beta test this application, it's already available for iOS. Send me your email and I'm gonna invite you for beta testing. And I'm also gonna work behind the scenes to set it up on Play Store as well and make sure that it's closer to getting finished and deploy in on the stores. Yeah, thank you for staying with me here till the end. I hope you find these tutorials valuable, even though they are different than what we usually do. It showcases the full process of building these applications. Good luck with your applications. Try to build it and try to have something ready by the end of this month. And yeah. If you're interested, by the way, where is it? Don't forget to check out our pro community that we launched this month, and we're gonna have different events and weekly Q&A sessions with our pro members, and all the details you can find at notjust.dev/pro. Anyway, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next Friday, this Friday, I mean. Very, very soon with new features.